Is there a pair of sneakers you had during your childhood that were boring or simple, that later blew up and became a super fashionable, iconic sneaker? Maybe it's a slept-on silhouette you've loved for years that suddenly you see everyone copying in a frenzy because some celebrity rocked them one time. I don't know how you guys feel about the Adidas Samba when you were growing up, but a lot of people are talking about it right now like it was a bland and dorky shoe until a couple celebrities recently brought them into the spotlight. Do you guys think it's just a phase? Or do you think the shoe has and will always be dope? Regardless, I think we can all agree that the Samba has long outgrown its original identity as an indoor football shoe and is now at home and well loved in all kinds of different settings. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you are a regular viewer of this channel, well then welcome back. We always appreciate you tuning in. Thank you guys so much. If you are a new viewer, then you've come to the right place and let me tell you why. On this channel we do sneaker history videos. Very in-depth sneaker history, mini documentaries. So if you're into sneakers, you're really gonna enjoy it. My brother Nacho and I put in a lot of work to make sure that these are worthwhile. And if this is your first, second, third time here and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button down there. It would really help out the channel. And with that being said, guys, with that out of the way, let's get into the history of the Adidas Samba. It's common knowledge that the Samba was specifically designed in the late 1940s for football, or soccer if you're in the United States, but we're gonna refer to it as football for the remainder of this episode just because it's a European shoe. European teams needed a shoe with the sole that would retain traction on icy football pitches. And yeah, it worked for that. So why the hell is it called the Samba? Well, let's roll it all the way back to the early days of Adidas in 1949. Confident in their new football shoes design, and with the 1950 FIFA World Cup in Brazil approaching, Adidas looked to the cup as an opportunity to market this shoe to the whole world. The only problem? Their new sneaker was born and bred into and for an icy climate, and they were about to debut it in Brazil. Endorsements of individual star players hadn't yet become the go-to move for brands to create hype over a new shoe. So Adidas had to find a marketing strategy that would take this promising new sneaker's rubber sole and stamp a solid impression into unfamiliar turf in Rio de Janeiro. Taking a direct approach to make the sneaker at home in Brazil's culture, Adidas chose to name it after the popular Brazilian genre of music, samba. The name slyly suggested to native and visiting football players that this sneaker was the appropriate choice for the World Cup. And as you can tell, this approach worked. This solid first impression in 1950 pretty much granted the Samba permanent tenure within football and sneaker culture. The fact that the Adidas Samba now in modern times has found its way into so many different subcultures really kind of blows my mind. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it because the Adidas Samba was designed for a very specific purpose, for a very specific sport, and had a very specific marketing plan behind it for a very specific part of the world, Brazil. And that just really speaks to the longevity of its aesthetics and functionality, which we're going to get into right now. Obviously, today Sambas look a lot different than the original kangaroo leather 1950 model. But one thing that every model of Samba shares is the rubber sole, an innovative choice in 1950 for providing solid traction on a variety of surfaces. It has been proven to be both effective and iconic to this day. The suction cup-like concave bubbles in the outsole have been present in the soles of most Samba models, another contribution to their traction. For instance, five-a-side football became popular in the 70s and 80s, and because the Samba soles were tacky and secure on hard surfaces like AstroTurf, it became the go-to sneaker for the burgeoning sport. Obviously, the Samba had earned its home in European football culture through performance, but models from the 70s and 80s offered more of a lifestyle aesthetic, quickly making it a fashion statement off the pitch as well. It became a staple of wardrobes for casuals, football fans who instead of rocking their team's colors on match day, wore fashionable clothes that reflected the beginning of hype sportswear's evolution. If you're a fan of this era of the Adidas Samba, please let us know in the comments. The Adidas Samba had also become a popular choice for skateboarders. The same qualities that made it popular in football, the grippy sole, the durable padded leather upper, the reinforced T-toe, and an understated aesthetic, transferred well into subcultures like skateboarding, which demanded both durability and a no bullshit style. By the same token, the Adidas Samba found a home in urban cycling and bike messenger culture. My friend Nick, who helps me write the scripts for these videos, he was actually a bike messenger for many years, and I was a skater for many years before I tore my ACL 2 times. Yeah. We decided it'd be fun to have a little chat and talk about how the Adidas Samba seeped into both of those subcultures that we belong to. So check out this conversation I had with my friend Nick. Yo, so you were a bike messenger for how long?
Only like 4 years.
4 years? Okay, I thought it was like a decade plus. Okay, 4 years.
It felt like a decade, man.
So 4 years pedaling around the city, delivering packages to law offices and city officials and stuff. Do you have any memories of the Adidas Samba at all, like in those 4 years, or any like stories from that?
A lot of messengers wear Sambas, and they wear other shoes too, but like Sambas are like a really common model for like messengers to wear, because they're like durable and they're cheap, and they're kind of just like a more padded, more durable version of like the cheap sneakers that like other choices that messengers would wear, like Vans Authentic or like maybe Converse All-Stars. Those things will just like, if you're a bike messenger and you're wearing like, I mean, pretty much whatever kind of bike you're riding, whatever kind of pedals you're using, like I would go through Vans Authentics in like sometimes 2 months. And like over the years, the quality of those just got worse and worse too. So I remember like even before I was a messenger, and like fixed gear, like urban street cycling was like a humongous trend, and I was living in Portland at the time. I just remember that like the fastest kid in town who won like every street race and just had like this super simple bike, he would just tear through every single race with the simplest setup, and he was just the fastest kid in town, and he wore Sambas, and like everybody else is wearing like these, they'd be like using the clip-in shoes, they'd be using like gears, geared bikes, road bikes, and just like trying to like get themselves out to go the fastest that you possibly can. And this kid's just like riding on like a stripped down track bike, with just like sneakers.
As of June 2021, which is when we're recording this, it seems like the Samba has really blown up in the past year, largely due to some celebrities and fashion icons rocking them. After this post from Fear of God founder Jerry Lorenzo, the OG white Sambas were sold out everywhere for a minute. There have definitely been some high profile collaborations as well, so whether you love the classic low-key Samba or you want something hype that took the silhouette to another level, there's probably something out there for you. On that note, let's take a look at some of the different models of the Samba. Starting with the basics, you've got the classics and the OGs. The classic being the older model with a long ribbed tongue that sports a low-key rectangle logo. It has a dark chocolate outsole, whereas the updated version, the OG, has a much shorter tongue with a blue logo and a more typical gum outsole. Those are the big differences, though there are a couple smaller details that differ between the two. There's the Samba Rose, made with a woman-specific fit and very similar to the OG aside from the tall, blocky platform outsole. There are a ton of different versions of the Samba Rose. There's a slip-on version called the Samba Rose Easy, and there's also a collab with Swarovski crystals that include Swarovski branding and a crystal encrusted charm attached to the laces. If you're into that crazy long tongue, then I got some good news for you. Sorry, I can't say that with a straight face, it's just too funny. Yeah, if you're into a crazy long tongue, got some good news for you. The Los Angeles Football Club Samba has the longest tongue of all time. All jokes aside, I love this collab. These actually come with 2 different tongue attachments, a gold one and a black one, so you can choose your look, or you can even go without the detachment if you want a less in-your-face look. There was also a small run of 40 pairs of this Heart of Gold LAFC Samba, which were gifted to impactful Los Angeles community members. There's a Samba ADV skate shoe, which includes skate-specific design features such as a special tread pattern for grip, a mesh tongue, and a heel clip for additional support. There's even an Adidas Samba snowboard boot. Adidas collabed with Jonah Hill for this line of 3 colorways. Not a whole lot of flair on these models, but they've got a couple little details like the embossed trefoil logo on the tongue, a couple of handwritten details, and a lion's head logo on the insole. Couple more quick ones. There's a Samba Fox, a collaboration with British cloth manufacturer Fox Brothers, the Wales Bonner Samba line with stitching inspired by Jamaican handcrafting methods and a satin lining. And the last one I'll mention, and probably my favorite, is a collaboration with professional skateboarder Jason Dill and the co-founder of Fucking Awesome, the Snakeskin Samba, which was inspired by Jason Dill's love of luxury loafers. If there's anybody who could pull off some snakeskin loafers, it would definitely be Jason Dill, one of the most eccentric skaters of all time and one of my personal favorites. But hey, if you want to learn more about sneaker history or the stories around footwear in general, then you should definitely subscribe to this channel, because that's what we do here. And we have videos on iconic sneakers like the Stan Smith, the Adidas Superstar, the Air Jordan 1, the Air Jordan 4. We have a whole playlist here for you to check out. Go ahead and click on that, and I will see you guys over in those videos. Also, I know you guys see the hat. That's right, I'm a Clippers fan. The Lakers fans, they found me somehow, and they've been hating on me in the comments. Come on, guys. Nah, I'm just playing. Much love to all the Lakers fans and NBA fans who have been hitting me up in the DMs and also in the comments. Love you guys. Go Clippers. You know how it is. Appreciate you guys. Peace.